Stream going. All right, now we're everywhere. We're everywhere. Here at home. Doctor's appointment tomorrow. After you got a doctor's appointment tomorrow for what? What you doctoring on? Bella decided she wanted to get right behind the chair. Bella decided she wanted to co-host from her bed. She wanted to co-host from right behind the chair. So my co-host is behind the chair. So that means I have very little movement. Elena, Montana. What's up, Gracie? Quick update. I scheduled a C-section tomorrow. When did you schedule this? I just want to know. Hold on. I just want to see if my telephone number has changed any for me to find out this during the middle of a live. Hold on. I'm never sure. Sometimes I just think that the telephone company called and they just arbitrarily changed my telephone. I scheduled it tomorrow, not getting it tomorrow. What? My doctor's appointment is about my bad knee. Okay. So I got a bad knee. I got a pregnant woman. And then what else? Yeah. Yeah. What else? What else we got? What else we got? Come on and get it to me live. Yeah. I think they do it live because I think it's safer. It's safer to just tell him when he's live and he's going to get distracted by whatever topic he's on instead of getting sidetracked for 40 minutes. All right. She will be here in 2 weeks or less, and I'm suing hospital. I hope you're not suing the hospital you're going to have a C-section. I'm just saying. Just go, please go to another hospital. Uh, just go to another hospital. Husband is getting his eyes checked. What's up, Kat? I'll be suing afterwards. Oh my goodness. Have you telegraphed? Oh my goodness. If they sue, I cut out. But I'll fuss later. Greetings and salutations, everyone. How are you all doing? It is 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, regardless of the fact that I just spent the last 5 minutes chastising the family. We're on time, as always. You can set your clock by it. I am TNathan. This is the Conversation Universe. So you're listening to Conversations with 10 o'clock. No, you listen to the Conversation with TNathan. 10 o'clock Central Standard Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, and whatever time the GCPR network is broadcast in your area. Yeah, don't start. What's up, Rain? Macy Gray is still alive. But I gotta, I gotta hear Macy some other time. I got a lot to talk about. Well, we have a lot that he can't cut Siren out, so I will be getting yelled at. You're right. You're right. You're right. She gets yelled at after delivery. You will get yelled at, and you'll be like, "I'm not even pregnant, huh?" Yeah. Yep. So, all right, go sit down. Go lay down. Go sit down. Whatever you want to do. You want to get back behind me? All right, she's back behind. So, how you all doing? I know we were scheduled to talk about Hurricane Katrina tonight, but we're going to push that back to tomorrow night because I want to talk about what's happening in Texas, juryman, and the 51 Democrats that walked out. Like, this is not the, for all of y'all who don't know, this is not the first time that Democrats in Texas, or in a lot of states actually, have walked out. The last time we remember it happened in 2021. They walked out and they stayed gone for 5 weeks. They stayed gone for 5 weeks, and then they came right back in. They passed the bill that they were out for 5 weeks on. And it's about jury. Let's explain. So I thought I would take the time to explain what gerrymandering is and how Democrats have failed to stop it in 100 years. And they failed to stop it because they gerrymander also. All right. So here we are. We're at gerrymandering. And any questions along the way, please ask me. Pin them in the comment section if you all would like for me to answer them. But there will be running commentary all through it because, like I say, the gerrymandering that the Republicans are engaging in is because the Democrats, when they were in power, didn't eliminate it. Gerrymandering has been used in this country to suppress the vote of marginalized communities ever since marginalized communities had the right to vote. Here's the thing. See, here's the thing, and I always tell you all this. Until something starts to affect white people, the disenfranchisement of minorities didn't matter. Gerrymandering has been happening in this country ever since the vote extended past the white man. Did you hear me? Gerrymandering has existed in this country ever since the vote extended past the white man. Because gerrymandering is when election district lines are drawn in a way that artificially advantage one person, party, or group or another whenever they feel like. Listen, there are some, and jury, see, before gerrymandering, districts used to follow either natural boundaries or established boundaries of communities and districts. It would be a street, it could be a river, it could be a ravine, it could be something that separated one district from another by virtue of geographics, or just say, okay, we're going to divide this area up into 12 districts and we're going to evenly divide them up based upon geographics or population. That was it. That was how it was done. But now what we have are shapes that defy gravity. I think I want to show. Let's see. Um, I don't think I pulled. I was going to show some districts and how they have been gerrymandered. I want to show some districts of gerrymandering, how they and just say, what shape do you think these eat? There are amoebas. There are single-celled amoebas that have more integral structure than some of these gerrymandered districts that we look at across this country that have existed across this country. Like I say, especially the South is bad about gerrymandering. But here's the thing: how often, how often are district lines are supposed to be withdrawn in this country? How often? How often? Anybody know? Anybody know how often this is supposed to, we quote unquote, legally? Why every 10 years? Why every 10 years? It is every 10 years. It's every 10 years, but why? What is it based on every 10 years? 10 years. We got the 10-year part down. Why? Listen, right. The census. I was guessing woo. The census. The census every 10 years, every 10 years, every year ending in a zero, preceded by a factor of 10, we have the census. And every 10 years, that's when you're supposed to draw redistricting lines based upon population. When is our next census? When was the last census? When is the next census? And don't forget that Texas just went through this in 2021. So yeah, I gave it away already. It's 10 years, so we had five. So the next census is in 2030. So what we are watching is mid-sentence and mid-census that Texas is going to redraw its district lines to add, and it's a misnomer to think they're adding seats from Texas. They're not adding seats from Texas. They're just redistricting to have more Republican seats in Texas. Texas is not going to get any more seats. They're just structuring it so they'll have more Republican seats. And they're going to make some districts that look like amoebas. As a matter of fact, they're going to make some districts that make amoebas look structured and organized as they're feeding. Yes, this is ridiculous. They're going to redraw it again in 5 years. Um, they might draw it again next after midterm. And see, this is the thing. This is all about midterms. This is all about midterms. You remember when I said, when I was talking about, it was like there'll be no more elections and Donald Trump, and I said there'll be more elections. This is what I was talking about, because there are going to be more elections. But if you structure the system so that Republicans win elections based on redistricting, if you restructure the districts so Republicans win districts, so, yeah, just checking, just checking. But if you structure the districts that Republicans are more likely to win these districts that were purple, because that's what the color between red and blue, I suppose, is purple. That you redistrict these places to include more Republican base spread throughout districts, and you're going to have to do gerrymandering to do it. But here's the thing: you can't just be calling the pot calling the kettle black. Democrats have done the same thing in Illinois and in in New York, and my live is not eligible for a restriction surge because it permanently breaks people off the thing. All right, there it is. I don't even know. I'm talking about gerrymandering, and somehow my live is directing people off of the app by talking about gerrymandering. So you all have been gerrymandered into being led off the app. Everybody clap. Okay. Already, it's like I haven't even gotten to the copyright violated material yet. I'm still at gerrymandering. So that's gerrymandering, and it's been, like I said, it's been in effect ever since minorities have been given the right to vote. What? You can't go outside. Be back. she, she thinks the crumb snatchers are here. Nope, they're not here. Yeah. Team Bella, yeah, Team Bella thought the crumb snatchers here. She'll be back. She'll get back in. It's like, I can't believe they're not here. Um, so that's it. So when we look at the fact that 51 Democrats left Texas, now let's talk about that. Why does that matter? Because in state governments, quorums are required. Quorums are required. Found out they're not. Now she's sad. Now she's sad. So in, in in legislatures, quorums are required. In Texas legislature, it requires 100 members to be present to pass resolutions like this. So with 51 Democrats leaving, they don't have 100 um, representatives there to pass this. They don't need your vote. They got enough votes to pass it. I think it's like 82 of them left. They got enough votes to pass it without one Democratic vote, but you have to have 100 people there to have a vote. I know most of y'all know what quorum was. I just was making sure. Someone sit down, Bella. If you want to lay, but we're not going inside right now. Why do I have a feeling my show is going to be interrupted? I'm going to take Bella outside for 5 minutes. She's looking at me like, I don't want to go inside 5 minutes. All right, we're trying. I can get a who co-hosting. Who co-hosting? All right, so that's what it is. As a matter of fact, I know how to do this because I also wanted to show some clips from the two documentaries I recommend. And there's Slay the Dragon and Rig, the voter suppression playbook. Right? Those are the two documentaries I recommend if you want to know more on this subject. And of course, I plan to play some of them and commentary on some of them. But like commentary be sooner rather than later, or later rather than sooner. So I will conversations with TNT right. So let's take a look. Suppress Rig. Let's look at this. Let's look at a little of this because Slay the Dragon is older.
I love the vote. It was instilled in us to vote. My grandma raised me up and my sister up to vote. You know, when we turned 18, that was all right.
Appeal not approved.
The
Surprise.
address when I registered was 7660 Birchwood Circle.
Okay. I'm gonna have you go and stand in that line so they can update you.
Okay.
All right. Next voter, please.
So I need a picture ID.
I got an old one until
Let me see what you have. Here, is this your address?
You know me.
Doing a video. You gotta see. We can't be on the
I'm at the voting place. She told me I could not vote at all because I got to re-register because I'm nowhere in that system. They're not making it easy at all. It's tiresome. Yeah.
Yep, we got to clean the rolls up one way or another. I happened to stumble across the Phantom Voter Project. I started looking at my neighborhood and started finding what I believe to be a bunch of fraudulent registrations and started investigating them.
Always a white man.
It's about time we turned the lights on in the kitchen and started cleaning the cockroaches out of here.
When I found out that I was purged off the rolls, and I was highly upset about it.
Did you catch that? Did you catch that? All right, all right, no problem. I'm like, I'm good with it because that snow roach. You want to talk about roaches? We can always go to the snow roach. Listen, I know you all are used to people, and listen, I am not the bigger person. I just wanted to let you know I am not the bigger person. I will call you what you are. You snow roach, you're snow roach. And there's always some. Listen, these people. We talk about gerrymandering, but gerrymandering is just one of the tools of voter suppression, and that is why I want you to see some of these because, like I say, they are just tools of voter suppression. Voter suppression is the outcome that you're using your tools. And I told you, just like Roe versus Wade, the Democrats didn't codify it into law when they have the chance. It was a tool they did not want to disabuse themselves of. Like we could have been established districts, could have had been clearly established districts and aligned with non-gerrymandering. Like I say, gerrymandering is not just the drawing of the districting line; it's the way in which you draw them. Like there's when we were in Jackson, when I was at Jackson State, we were in two separate voting districts. The university itself was in two voting districts instead of being in one voting district. It was split so that the black students that had moved there, that were voting from there, their voting power was split between two predominant districts that had been gerrymandered to be predominantly white. And that's allowed a lot of the vote control. It's not that people are not turning out to vote. It's that you have gerrymandered these districts so much that you have districts that would be what's wrong? You have districts that would be predominantly able to elect um, representatives that are reflective of the district that they can't. They can't. So that is
Because like I said, I mean, I grew up seeing my family vote. I know it's my God-given right today to vote, and I want to vote.
The challenge we have with
Stacey!
the average voter suppression issue
Stacey!
is that it's happening to people we don't pay attention to every day. And for the average
Hear that?
citizen, it's not top of mind because it isn't as sexy, it isn't as violent, it isn't as present, but it can be the most insidious danger to our democracy.
And you all know how I feel. I understand democracy quite well. That's why I don't like it. That's why it's not, I don't advocate for democracy as much as I advocate for using democracy as a tool to lessen the pain and suffering of marginalized groups. I don't ever expect this society to be liberated as long as we have democracy married to capitalism as the basis of our society. As long as we have that, capitalism will always need an underclass to be relevant and perceptive. And when you marry it to democracy, you ensure that your laws are in accordance with capitalism more so than the betterment of the people. That's why under our democracy capitalism system, property crimes can get you more time than abusing a child because property is a reflection of capitalism and its value is enhanced because our laws reflect that. Everybody got it? Everybody got it? Yeah, all right. There will be tests. There will be tests. So, make sure you put that.
Probable cause to go forward on a total of 3,564 voter registrations challenges, all of which were submitted by Mr. Michael Hires.
Yaritza, Virgo.
I don't know if y'all remember him, but I remember Mike. And I remember him doing this and getting these people right from the rolls because they didn't even contact these people and try to. They just took his word for it because he had been through the neighborhood, all in other people's neighborhoods. You're all in other people's neighborhoods doing this. Right? Voter suppression, like Stacey said, if you're going to have a democracy that you say, and understand, our system is a republic, representative democracy, and a democracy. And they're not the same. You know what a representative democracy is? That's when we elect representatives to go to Congress to represent us. So we don't get a true one-to-one vote. But on the local level, like your vote for mayor, your vote for city ordinances, all those are one-to-one votes. That is true democracy. All right. Um, let's get back to this for a minute.
Robin Bruns, Christopher Carmichael, Tina Carmichael, Justin Freeman, Christopher Carter, Rachel, Cheryl Carson, Douglas Haley.
Again, that's 3,564 of those challenges the board found probable cause on to go forward.
300.
This is a big win, really, as far as the numbers go. Good God.
This meeting is adjourned.
Georgia. Give me a minute. Copyright
is under attack. Today, American citizens are being wrongly purged from voter rolls, others intimidated not to vote. Meanwhile, state after state has passed new voter restriction laws, making it harder for all of us to vote. How did this happen? And what's the justification for this takedown of America's democracy? Well, this scary story starts in Chicago on a mild November night.
No, it didn't start in Chicago, and we know what November 9th they're talking about in November of 2008. We know, and like that was one of my problems. It's like we gerrymandering just didn't start, voter suppression just didn't start with the election of Barack Obama. It became more maybe in your face, but when you, it just part of my thing was like we have literally fought for amendments to have the right to vote. Women did not have the right to vote before 1921. So to act like voter suppression just started in 2008 is a reach at best. At best. That doesn't mean a lot of the information in here is not good, but it's the idea that, I guess for time, I always say Americans are lazy, and they always want things in an encapsulated system of so they don't have to reach too far. What? Y'all know that's my baby. So anytime she moans, I'm like, it just it fucks with me. Right? So she's over here, she's over here whining, and I'm trying to rub her. And she as soon as I move my hand, she starts to whine. Um, so understand that I think most Americans are lazy when it comes to come on, come on, come on, come on. How you want to get up here? How you want to get up here? Come on. All right, all right. So I'll have to share me with her. She wants to be in my lap or something. All right, come on, come on. All right. Uh, I'm gonna play this clip and I'll be right back.
The year is 2008.
All right, let's hear this thing. Everybody ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, the next First Family of the United States of America.
We have never been a collection of red states and blue states. We are and always will be the United States of America.
The election of Barack Obama most certainly can't be left out of this story. That absolutely was a turning point.
If there is anyone out there who still questions the power of our democracy, tonight is your answer.
That election was such a big moment. It seemed there was this demographic tide and destiny had kind of taken over for Democrats, and that, we were going to see Democratic majorities and presidents into the foreseeable future.
Because of what we did on this day, in this election, change has come to America.
Barack Obama, he said, I'm going to turn red states blue. He said, I will compete in Florida. I'm going to compete here in the South, Virginia and North Carolina. I will have the audacity to challenge the Republican Foundation in Ohio and Indiana. And guess what? The Latino population is growing out here. It is the future of the Democratic Party. I will not only contest for it, I will win it.
Whites in this country have voted Republican in every election since 1968. And for at least since...
What? Did y'all just hear that? Did you just hear that? You hear that stat? You hear that stat, right? Being president, I'm glad he's okay because I don't know. He was, you play that stat?
It is the future of the Democratic Party. I will not only contest for it, I will win it.
Whites in this country have voted Republican in every election since 1968. And for at least since 2000, all of the major minority groups, blacks, Hispanics, Asians, have voted Democratic.
The data is very, very clear here. If you are...
I don't know if y'all know what my problem is here, right? But that's why I say our system is a failure, right? Because it's a certain belief in that is not, but it's not true when it comes to political parties. There's a certain belief in them that is rooted in a misunderstanding of history or events and policies more than you are voting along party lines because your party lines reflect what you believe or your principles, even though we have watched Democrats crash out since 1968. Without, like I say, I will never forgive the Democrats for not codifying Roe versus Wade into law. I will never forgive the Democrats for not making voting rights acts permanent when they had the chance, because they always wanted to run off them. And Republicans have played the long game. They have played the long game by using their white majority to continue to sow fear amongst the white majority against the black and brown minority. And that is the dynamic of race in this country as far as politics goes, ever since marginalized groups of people and women have gotten the right to vote. So that's the part that be killing me when I hear these people talk about it. It's like no one wants to just admit the truth. No one wants to come to the truth and say, this is why, and political party, Republican Party has done everything it could to demify. Do I need do we need to say it? And in the reverse, the Democrats have done everything they could do to coddle without true progress. Because at the end of the day, what you over y'all call talk Democrats, Republicans, it's all about holding power. Democrats figured they could hold power by manipulating and using minorities, and Republicans thought they can consolidate power by fear mongering amongst white people. And that is the dynamic that we see right now. That doesn't mean that the Democratic Party in the process is not more. Oh, I'm about to say something, and I category I'm going to disprove it also. Doesn't mean that they're not more aligned with certain principles that those of us who are independent or progressive thinking are, but they're not truly in bed with those principles because they only use them and roll them out during election. Did that make any sense? Did that make any sense? Yeah. Right now, we have a situation unfolding in Gaza that is because of a failure of Democrats to truly embrace the policies of those of us who find the children starving a bridge too far. Yeah, that is the truth of the matter. Come here. Come here. I know. I know. Say hello. Say hello. Say hello. And she'll be back. She'll be back. I can't wait. I got it. If Bella goes outside without her, she misses her. Go, 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 go. Go. Go stand by the door. Yeah. Team Bella over Pinky. You're right. Yeah. Wait. Pinky. Yeah, Pinky. Yeah. That's Pinky. Pinky has to get her 5 minutes in. Um, she was asleep until Bella wanted to go outside. Junior's snatcher took Bella outside. And now you can't just take Pinky outside. I don't know, just sorry. You can't take Pinky outside like you can take Bella outside. She's not going. She's gonna come back inside when you come back inside. Pinky, Pinky will be down the street stalking children. Pinky does not like children, so you can't. All mods got to pick a side. Oh, Pinky. No, I won't ask y'all to do that. I'll pick the side. Yeah, yeah. I have Pinky is a fixture, no matter what. Even though she is possessed by baby white Jesus demons, she's still a fixture. But she's outside with the crumb snatcher. She good. She outside with the big crumb snatcher. You're not gonna. You learn to be violent like I am. All right. So yeah. So that's how. What's up, Jay? So that's where we are. So the system. And I was listening to Kamala Harris when she was on Stephen Colbert Show. I thought that was an interesting choice of shows to go on at the time. Right? It was like the synergy was just amazing. But I was watching her and she said, she's not running for governor of California, which I don't know why people didn't understand when I told them. But he's like, "Oh, she's gonna run for." I said, "Why? How do you step down from vice president to governor?" I didn't think she was gonna run for governor. I think she has. It's not worth it. It's not working. Do I think she's going to run in 2028? Jury's still out. I don't know if she'll get the nomination, um, but jury's still out on it. I'm not sure she's going to run. After listening to her, I'm more inclined to believe at this point she won't because she said something that I think a lot of people think is true, but it's kind of false. She said the system is broken. She said she doesn't want to be part of a broken system. I hate to break it to you all. The system is not broken. What's up, Houston? The system is not broken. It is whenever I hear people say that the system is broken, I mean one to ask when did it break? What year did this system break? I mean, I just ask that because I never get an answer. I get people because I can disprove every answer you throw out there. When you say when did the system break, the system is not broken. But you say you're giving me even 1768. It wasn't broken. The system is not broken. That's what, and I can until I can get you all to wrap your minds and stop giving me these fucky dates and start understanding the system is not broken. You can't repair a system that is not broken. The system needs to be broken to create something that works for all of us. But as long as you all keep thinking the system is broken, you apply these rudimentary, non-working ass patches to it that don't take into account that the system is like, I'm not broken. You just have a problem with the way I was created. It's not even that they put in a felon. I understand people. I'm a felon. It's not like you can't be a felon and also operate in a meaningful way to your society. If you will, it's not just that he's a felon; it's that the kind of one of the kinds of charges he has are also character problematic, not because for other reason. But I also find Democrats they show their true colors every time they say that because they talk about second chances, but they only mean for the people they like. So you can't have it both ways. That's my spill on it. But it's not just that. It's the character, even if he wasn't a felon. It's the character, even if he wasn't a felon. It's the policies that he has implemented, that he has always stated was his position. They had nothing to do with him paying hush money to Stormy Daniels. This is who he was. This is who he is. I mean, you want to get technical about it. Every civil rights leader, every revolutionary has been a felon. All of them. So when you get bogged down in that, you miss the point that regardless of the fact, this is your character. Your character is to. In 1972, he wasn't a felon. He wasn't a felon when his father instituted discriminatory housing practices. That's who he is. That is who he is. And that is the problem because, Mike Johnson isn't a felon. Mike Johnson, the Speaker of the House, isn't a felon. And I consider him just as diabolical, if not more so, because he's a politician that actually understands how politics works. I always tell you, Republicans make better politicians than Democrats because Democrats are trying to coddle people instead of talking under this big tent. Realize we can't do anything until we can win some elections. We need to win some elections. This litmus test and this moral high ground that Democrats have is why they always lose elections. I didn't care who Bill Clinton slept with. I'm gonna tell you the truth. That's him and Hillary's problem. That doesn't make him effective as a president. I have more problems with Bill Clinton than that. I didn't care. That's not. He lied about a relationship with somebody outside of his marriage. Who expected him to tell the truth? And what does that have to do with getting prices down? What does that have to do with creating policies that didn't adversely kill black and brown people? I'm good. That's between you and Hillary. Hillary didn't leave you for it. What I got to do with it? I don't have anything to do with it. But Democrats have a litmus test that Republicans don't have, and that's why their agenda right now is in hyperdrive. Yeah, because we want Democrats to. I made a video and I updated when I was talking about knowledge and versus power and true power. And I said we want people that have never experienced life to somehow be pristine and just come into the picture and fix problems that they've never had to face and never had to make decisions to fix for their personal stuff. Yeah, I said it. Most Democrats like Nancy Pelosi, and that's not taking anything from her political acumen, but yeah, Nancy Pelosi made a decision to wear kente cloth at a commemorance of George Floyd and drug everybody else along with it. And I was like, wow, why did you do that? Why do you have kente cloths draped around your neck and call it a George Floyd Memorial Wall? Because you're out of touch with the community that George Floyd was a part of to the point that you didn't understand that they're looking at you like, what does this have to do with George Floyd? That's because it was about your photo op more so than it was about a commemoration of not the man, but the system that allowed what happened to the man to happen. That's how out of touch. And to not say that, hey, maybe we should talk to some people in the community to see what kind of commemoration would you need. Because at the end of the day, yes, don't get me wrong, George Floyd was murdered and the system failed, but it was about the system that fails us as black and brown people, more so than it was about just one man. If you understand. And You gave low hanging fruit to the Republicans by making it about George Floyd and not about the system. His family will memorialize him. As leadership, you were supposed to do something to address the system in which this happens. And just sitting there with kente cloth on on a knee, it's like I screamed. I screamed so much people were like, TNathan, they trying. We don't need to be trying in 2020 or 2025. We don't need to be trying. We need to be doing. And that is the problem. You all will give people passes for trying, but trying is not winning. The first place winner wasn't trying to win. They did win. The second place winner was trying to win, and they did. And that's what I tell people. You all will follow just because they have a certain mental acumen. Listen, it's not enough. Yeah, that's what the meaning of the video I posted before I went live. It's not enough just to be, yeah, I'm mentally aware, acute, all those things. But I'm also physically capable of knocking your ass out. I'm spiritually aware and I am mentally stable. All those things. When you talk about leadership, that's why when some of y'all be tagging me in these little whack ass videos because this person learned a couple of new words, they want to try them out, and all of a sudden you think it's the best thing. I would knock one of those motherfuckers out and be like, now what you gonna do with all your words? All your words are not protecting my family. Yeah. Those are not, that is not leadership material. That's, don't get me wrong. There can be learners. Hello, DCP. Did I do it? Did I do it right? I know how I did it. All right. Well, I'll try. We can't promise you. But that is part of the system is always pushing you towards people who are intellectually okay, but they can't physically bust a grape in a fruit salad. They can't. I'm so tired of asking. I just realized I'm not the donation king. I don't know. It's like nothing we do really moves the needle when it comes to donation to the fund. Yeah, and it is what it is. So yeah, this is the cash app. Donate. We got the bill for those that be homeless, and we're trying to raise money for supplies, school supply, back to school supplies for those who are less fortunate and migrant children that are we're navigating or going back to school this year. So that is what we're doing. But yeah, I don't expect it anymore. I pull my shirt off and talk about a bus. Will that help? I don't. But that's part of the problem too. All of that is part of the problem because I listen to people who say they're progressive, they're for liberation, but they don't do the things that show they're progressive or for liberation because it's low hanging fruit. It's like the whole. I watched people talk about Sydney Sweeney for days. I want to see those same people talking about the fact that the United States policies in Gaza is the reason that children are dying, and Benjamin Netanyahu is saying that there's no famine or starvation going on. But you spent hours talking about a gene commercial that only got as much attention is because you gave it more attention than it deserved. And at the end of the day, what did she say? Number one, she didn't write the commercial. American Eagles producers wrote the commercial. What did she say that we already know people think? And if you wasn't going to walk, if you wasn't going to the ad agency and take physical retribution on them, shut the fuck up. I'm so tired of people who never show up at a protest, who have never burned down a building, hypothetically speaking, um, talking about revolution in these ways that have involved them not leaving their couch, have never registered somebody to vote and talk about voter suppression. You all know I don't even like democracy, but I know how we have to use it because we have to stem the tide until we come up with something better. But these people are talking about these things. I've never seen them register one person to vote. I've never seen them go to schools and voter registration drives. I've never seen them go and register people at shelters to vote. I got video of all that. I got video. Thank you, allegedly. Lawyers handle the wording. Um, I tried to make it amusing sometimes. I saw the preview of that one video with no shirt. And I went, nope. Saw the shit. What do you mean? I work out. What do you mean? What do you? Wait, hold on. What you trying to say? Oh, what's wrong with my no shirt video? I got a chest. I work out. I also got a hard right and left combination. What do you mean? I don't know. Listen, as a matter of fact, hold on. They're gonna just insult me. You just insulted me. Oh my goodness. I can't take it. I bet I can knock out every one of your Republican representatives in your house and most of the Democratic ones too. Yeah, yeah, I bet I can knock them all out. I bet I can bench press them too. Now, talk about me. Okay, yeah, yeah, dead, dead. Yeah, I don't really dead. I don't doubt it. Yeah, it's not enough just to have a big head. You also have to have big arms because, like, I don't lead from the back. And I'm joking, we're joking, right? But that is part of it. That is part of it. It is. I just be watching these people that they can't walk from their bathroom to their kitchen without having a cardiac arrest sometimes. And I'm sorry. Y'all can feel the way y'all want to about it. But true leadership requires you to take care of yourself mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically. It requires that. It's not an option. Shaka Zulu wasn't out here overweight and suffering from foot disease, trying to lead the Zulus. As I just ate my black ring blood steam from Wendy's. Listen, y'all know, I eat. I just have to make sure that I have to work out to make sure, because ain't nobody gonna come to my house and knock me out in front of my house, in front of my. Oh no, that's not happening. That's not happening because that right behind the door, just in case I need to equalize. Anybody who got the reference, just know we see each other. But back to this. So voter suppression takes all kinds of forms. Voter suppression, the tools of voter suppression, of course, are jury. Gerrymandering is the redistricting of districts based upon an advantage to one candidate, one party, or one idea. And we have seen that. I'm sure some of you all live in gerrymandered districts where you like, how does my district conform to geometry? Listen, I have literally seen gerrymandered areas that they look like an amoeba. There's no way to explain it. It's like, how? It's not like you're following any geographical pattern, a neighborhood pattern. It's like you just dropped an amoeba on the map and saying, let's make sure it includes the voting party we got. And this is the system. Yeah, I have a lot of heavy, right, right. I just got to be strong enough to pick them up because brandishing and branding somebody is acceptable. But you have got to start to realize, right, that we must encompass all of this. Like I say, I don't like democracy, but I have to understand it intricately of how it can be used. Because no matter what revolutionary I am, I'm not going to get enough people out here tomorrow to change the system for something that works equitably for all of us. So what we must do until such time as we reach that critical mass is that we must learn how to use the system to minimize our pain and suffering. Did I say eliminate? No. Did I say eliminate? No. Minimize. But we cannot get enamored with the system that we're using to minimize our pain and suffering. It's like the Dutch boy. He put his fingers in the dam to hold back the water until such time. That's what we're doing. We're putting our fingers in these holes just to hold back the water enough for us to move everybody from in front of the dam when it collapses. I'm a woman happily living alone. I keep a slugger next to me in the truck behind the door. I keep a slugger I remember buying so many bats one time. People asked me what team was I playing for. I said, no, little team. I just need one in every room in the house. And this is just a lightweight. This is lightweight, and that's just to get to something else. Because I'm telling you, I'm gonna tell you something else. Soundproofing is highly underrated. I don't know. Sometimes y'all don't believe what I'm saying. Y'all don't believe this. Let me show you something. Let's see if you can see this. Oh, turn some light. When I say soundproofing, I mean real soundproof. I have these. Uh, if you know what these are, let me know. Let me know if you know what these are right here. Let me know. Let me know if you know. Like I say, a lot of you all are just listening to people who talk a good game. No. I know what they are. I follow enough people on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. And I don't just have them in here. I plan. When people like, oh, Doc so and so, I was like, I'll try to make my house into one of those houses that you're gonna make movies about. You make movies, you're in the window and no one see you outside. You holler, like, you broke in. Yeah. Nobody know you here. Yeah, yeah. You broke in. So that's what I want. That's why I took the time out tonight because I want to talk about gerrymandering. I want to talk about voter suppression. I want to talk about all that so we have a realistic understanding of what is happening. And combating it is combating. Understand that Texas is going to get gerrymandered. Texas is going to get gerrymandered. It took 5 weeks last time, but they passed it. I would be surprised. I would be surprised. And listen, the solutions that it would take to correct this issue, most people don't want to do. Y'all want to know my solution to how to fix these issues? I would let them jury. I would let them gerrymander Texas. I wouldn't even. I would just let them gerrymander if I had the ability to get some people that would actually follow the next course of my plan. Because they're gerrymandering it to take control of midterm. Right? Uh, I would let them gerrymander. I would have been running a campaign in some certain communities with certain marginalized groups of people, and I would get about. All I need is a million of y'all. That's all. I just need a million of y'all. I just need a million of y'all to move and register to vote in some of these areas that have been gerrymandered. See, that's how this is why I tell you people are not willing to really do what it takes. If you were really willing to do what it takes, you would let Texas make these gerrymandering decisions. They would have to finalize these districts before the midterm, and then soon, and you're not moving to another state, so you have to register to vote in that state. You're a citizen of Texas. You just have to move to an area and vote in that area. All you do is vote on the register. And if we get a million people do it, move back home after midterm. Move back home after midterm. But how many people think like that? How many people understand? That's why we don't have enough people willing to do what it takes. They're just willing to talk about what it takes. That's really they're going to gerrymander the district that in Austin near Austin, Texas, that's going to pit two Democrats that were from different districts against each other. And in that case, so they created a new district for Democrats that are now is this is still a Democratic committee, but you're putting you two against each other. One of y'all should just have a conversation and be like, hey, why are we going to split the vote and allow a Republican to win? But see, this is like I say, this is how I know it's more about your want for your individual greatness than it is for the greatness or for the policies that you need. One of y'all needs to step out and say, look, I'm going to support you. It's only 2 years. Hell, play ping pong with the position if you want to. Yeah, I'm going to step out. I'm going to lend all my support to you because I believe you're going to do the right thing for 2 years. And if something happens, I'll be in the community doing what it takes to support you. And if something happens, I'll run next time. How many times have politicians come to those kind of agreements? That doesn't make sense to why would they split votes. That don't make sense to why would they split votes. See, because the district is real, it's not their fault. It's their fault that they can't come. It's easy to beat that because they're hoping that they run against each other, and the Democrat, the Republican that wouldn't have a minority either way, they will split the vote, and the Republican will win. That's what they're hoping. That's what they're hoping. Because in that district, the way the district is, each one of those Democrats that won their district before these new lines were drawn, each of them won by 49%. It wasn't even 50%. So if you put them both in the same district and they consist to run because Texas has the top down law. If they put them in both districts and they both decide to win and they split that 50% vote between the two of them, then the Republican wins that district with over 40% of the vote. Time I said, okay. So I see they're trying to get Democrats to go against each other. It's not that they're trying, it's that Democrats are being gerrymandered into new districts that now the district, instead of being one district was this and one district was that, that same district is now all Democrats. And now you're running, both candidates want their seat. Both of the candidates want the seat they had before the gerrymander. Instead of one of them saying, hey, I concede, I concede, and you run for the office for midterm. I say there are solutions to these problems, but it requires people to be committed to what they really talked about. They're committed to. Just made it home from a 14-hour shift. It gets you some rest. That's why you ain't been. That's why you watched the movie with us on Sunday. And why you didn't text me back? Yeah, I remember all that. I remember all that. How much time I got? How much time I got, y'all? All right. So 888. Thank you. Uh, interesting choice. Interesting choice. $8.88. Thank you. All right. GCPR. We'll catch you all later. Thank you for tuning in. See you tomorrow at the same Wakanda station, same Black Panther time. All right. I'm clear on GCPR. Man, I just can't explain to you how good it feels to be able to do all this from my control center. Ah, whoever helped me do this must have been the ancestors smiling down on you. But to be able to do all this from one central control system now is great. It is great. Now, was it Nick or Jason? Yeah, nope. I actually did the hookup myself because electronics. I'm great at electronic devices. It's like wall mounting and putting in the. I could and once I went and studied them, yeah, I could have done the acoustics. I just thought it was too. I mean, it was just complicated. I didn't. You had to put them in the water, watch them. I ain't got time for all that. Just can I put them up and spray them? Yeah, no. But yeah, I can. He asked me a couple of questions one time, but he done it all. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like, the electronics, I'm good. Computer systems, I'm great at. It's just the other part. Fighting, good. Lifting, good. I am when Nick comes and does something, I tell him, I was like, I'm labor. I got the genetics for it and the ancestral output. Yeah, I said that. I said that. It's true. It's true. It's true. That's why I can march for 16 hours in a protest all day. It's true. My ancestors passed on to me. I got the full. I listen. Cindy Sweeney got good genes. Yeah, I got hardworking genes. I got some hardworking physical genes. Yeah, I don't see your text until this afternoon. I was babysitting my goddaughter Sunday. So let's get this right. This is called gaslight. So you mean to tell me either you don't look at your text, even I look at my text, even if I don't text back, I don't go. I know this text on my phone. So you mean to tell me you didn't see my text to this afternoon from 24 hours prior? Stop gaslighting. I don't care. I'll be on the go. I have no listen. Yes, there's some texts I receive that I have that I know you're there. I just get distracted. I also want to share with you all. Y'all remember the hypothetical time that I may or may not have given a hospital my credit card and told them to put the services on my credit card for Jamie. Hypothetically speaking, even though you all know I'm never gonna pay it. Um, I, Jamie only has a couple of days left according to the nurse. His cancer is not just back, but it's beyond treatment. Without treatment for so long, that we're just making him comfortable. So they're just making him comfortable. He's not. And that, if I haven't, I know a lot of people I usually talk to in the morning, but I haven't been talking to you all because I've just been sitting there with him because I don't want him to die alone. I don't want him to die. I want him to know somebody cares. So his cancer is metastasized is throughout his body. So he should just make so that's the world we live in. That's yeah. And it's sad that, and that's why I say these purity tests y'all have. Yes, I don't feel bad about lying. I don't feel bad about the fact that I'm never going to pay this hospital bill. I don't feel bad about any of that. I don't care. I don't care. As long as he's comfortable. Uh, yeah, don't care. If y'all can't donate to Cash App after that starts so, and it's not. I'm not gonna pay it. Y'all know that. Well, it's that time. Hold tight. It's that time. And I'm also at the fact. It's like I remember like Mary. I don't know if you follow me, Mary's story, but I'm telling you, I don't hold out that kind of hope anymore. I don't hold out that kind of hope anymore. Mary, when Mary died, it was like she died in a cold snap. She's sleeping outside in a tent. I got a tent. We got tents and everything, but it's still cold. It was still cold. And Mary wanted me to put before, and I was going to put her up. I was going to put her up. If y'all remember the video, we were going around. And Mary was one of the ones in Arkansas. She was a young lady in Arkansas that helped me meet more of those communities. And this was before the government regulation where we had to push them farther back into the woods and camp. And she would go around me and pass out meals. She would show me the camps and tell me how many and I remember, and I told you she that, but she had got a tent, but she was like, "Hey, TNathan, this person needs a hotel room more than I do. They got a child." And it is what it is. It's like, yeah, she did that, and I know that, then we had our little detour into the Mississippi Department of Corrections, and nobody was there for them. All these people who I forgot the bullshit they pulled. I haven't forgot you all. Don't ever think that. Don't ever think that because I smile and I carry on that I have forgotten any of you. And I will be seeing you one day. I promise you that. Like I say, I am not the big person. People think that, but there are people that suffer. There are people that suffer just because you didn't like me. So just worry. I will make sure I return the favor. And I don't feel any kind of way about that. Like I said, it's not the airport. You know me, you know I feel that. But to really watch people that we could help, that we don't, that we don't. And it's not like I'm saying I'm buying a bus. It's not like, listen, how you remember y'all got pictures. Right. And I remember every time we go out, she was like, well, she would call me. Bought a little, like I've got a little throwaway phone. She would use it just to call. I said, Mary, you can call your family. You can have other people call your family. I just put more minutes on that. She said, no, we got to use this in case something happens. And that's the only time she would call me on the phone to tell me so and so, we got a new person out here. She's pregnant. She got two children, but she got a car. And I was like, okay, she got a car, but I still don't. We don't want her sleeping out here when it's cold. Mary, that's what Mary would call me for. And if you, like I say, I will repost the videos. And you go find, if you go to my page and go under the tag, and you can see Mary. You can tell it. And still, no, Mary would tell me, I don't mind you showing my face. I don't mind you showing my face. I don't mind putting it out there, and I still never would. I still never would. I don't figure. No, it's one thing to tell a story and to have the people there that are going through it, but I didn't want you to get down the line somewhere and that come back to haunt you. I don't care if you have to lie to get something you want. I don't ever want people to look back and say, "Hey, I want you this." No, it's not. It's not because I'm never gonna tell. But to realize, like when you remember when the man's mother sent his brother out to the camp to get him, because she had her relatives were coming in and she didn't want them to know her son was homeless. And then because he wouldn't go, his brother he set his tent on fire and therefore endangered other people at the camp. Yeah, that's all us. We know all that. Yeah, because she was true. She was true. She did that. It was like I tell you, my faith in humanity is not sustained by most of the people I meet that have. It is sustained by the people that are in dire situations and nobody is coming to rescue them. That continue to still strive to help others. That's it. I don't. Yeah, my faith in humanity, if it was left up to the most of these people that talk a good game, I would have been for the Thanos. I would have been looking for the Infinity Stones. And I would have been very specific. It wouldn't have been like, hey, no, you get a snap, you get a snap, you get a snap. Yeah. That's why I'm not a superhero. That's why I'm a superhero, because it's the fact that we watch people. Because I used to be homeless and people treated me like I was less than right. Just the incident at Walmart. The incident at Walmart. Look, we we had a friend. We got the cards. We got them. We raised money. And I was like, hey, instead of me just going here's the cards to go to Walmart and get you. I tell people all the time. What also gets me about our treatment of those who have to be homeless. Let me take this. Let me take Steve off the screen for just a moment. I don't need mediocre Steve looking at us while we talk. Yeah, let's take Steve off the screen for a minute. But it's the idea that we would give them cards and Walmart wouldn't let them in to use them. It's the idea that people would tell me, oh, I wouldn't buy them that because they don't need that. Why is it that you think poor people and people that happen to be homeless don't deserve a good drink, or if they need a cigarette. Why is it that we think homeless people need somebody to manage their nutritional outtake? So well, buy them some rice cakes and fuck you, the rice cake and your wax green beans also. I tell you, when you watch people come down and they've just cleaned their pantry out, they got dented, rusted cans, and think they're doing something, and I slide that shit right in the garbage can right in front of them. This is not the garbage dump. This is not the garbage dump. If you taking a bent, dented, rusty can to a shelter, think you're doing something, you are a piece of shit. You're a piece of shit. When you see me do meals, except for the pork, I'm not. It's not that I just don't eat pork, but I'm not serving you something that I would not eat because of the way it's. If I feel like I'm a failure at something that needs to be prepared, I find somebody. That's why you see and I'm going to give it up for most of the time. Besides Jason has gone with me, Nick has gone with me, but they didn't cook. Let me just say, Jason and Nick. Jason did driving. He didn't, we most of the time, all the cooking has to come down to me or some of the women that are with us. They cook, but we don't cook stuff we wouldn't eat. Yeah, Jason don't cook. Jason don't cook, but he drives well, and he's like, I don't have to drive. It's good. And Jason came when we was when we was in Arkansas. He came several times to just help us do that. Just help. We went to um New Mexico, and we did what had to be do. Even though we did put him in the trunk, we did put Jason in the trunk. I know he gonna mention it, but it was a spacing requirement. He was not hurt or harmed in the, and it wasn't like the trunk where you put the trunk and you can't. It was like the trunk of an SUV. It's like the seats. He was behind the seats. He was just small and folded up. I mean, he's smaller than I am. I would have got back there, but it was not enough room. So it was. Amy, did you go over the answer to the question I gave? What's up, Robert? How you doing? Where were you at the Miss Fantastic Four, Robert? Miss Fantastic Four, and you also mixed. I played an episode of Eyes of Wakanda. Yeah, I was just making sure. It was like, okay, way to start off the text, Jay, because I was about to. Next time, Jay, find out who and use extreme violence against them. What's up, my hey, other nephew just snuck in. Where you at, nephew? Where you at, Ro? At home? Ro has been with me. Ro, same thing. Like I tell you, these are things we do. We don't just talk. I know. I know. You all think we just be talking. We don't be talking. We be doing. And that's why I get so bent out of shape, maybe, when I watch people that just actively donate to people who don't do anything. Shay has an actual garden. Shay has an actual community garden. I had an actual community garden in Gulfport. And somebody put some, well, I don't even know what to call them. What are they, what are they, the little slants with some plants in them that you buy? And they got them stacked up, and you all think, oh yeah, let's just donate $100 to the community garden. It's not a community garden. That's not what a community garden. I know what it was. It cussed them out. I would have shot them or beat them at least, or beat them. And then it would have made it would have been viral, and then a little court case. It's simple assault. It's just simple assault. $1,000 fine, 6 months in jail. First offense, they'll suspend it. I'll serve all 6 months in jail because I'm not paying the fine. I'll just be in jail. Uh, just be like, and when I come out, I'm assaulting you again. Yeah, yeah. You gotta go work in the garden. Right. And this is what gets me. This is what I get upset about. That we are doing the work. We're showing you the work. It is not like a doubt of where the work is going. Not a doubt. Not a doubt. You're right. You just mad at other people spending their money on things. Question: how big was the trunk asking for? He listen. He was all right. You see, he alive. He was alive. He thin. He contorts into different shapes. It was only for a couple of minutes. God, what happened to the good old days when you could just put nephew in the trunk and everybody not get bent out of shape about it? He was in the trunk for a couple of minutes. Just till we went, till we got to where we were going. I record for future laughs. I got great camera angles. I bet you he won't. Yes, he will. Yes, he will. Listen, yes, he will. He gets too much mileage out of telling him that his uncle put him in the trunk. He gets too much mileage out of him. Like I say, you do it again. As a matter of fact, I don't even have to. It's like I'm like, Jason, why are you in the trunk? There's a whole back seat. We only got 3 people in here. Why are you in the trunk? He now he wants to take pictures of me in the trunk. Video. When you first started popping up on my For You page, you were putting people in closets over. Too much mileage is wild work. Diabolical. As a 5'3" guy, yeah, you've been in the trunk too. Yep. Like I say, it's not truly a trunk. You've seen the SUVs, and they got the little area behind the last seat, right? There's a lot of space in there. There's a lot of space. It's like he wasn't like bent up into deformed. We saw him. He was all right. He was all right. Probably trying to write rescue notes on the on the mirror, on the windows for people behind us. But he all right. We made sure he didn't have anything around. Yeah. Listen, listen. I tell people, right? I am not the person. I think I have been being too big a person lately, but I'm not the big person. And you spend 5 minutes with me, you know, nope. See, Nathan is not the person. He is not taking the high road. Not taking the high road. But it's because helping people is not something you have to take lightly. It's like either you're there to help or you're there to talk about it. And I like talking to y'all, I interact with y'all, but every day it's like you've got to do something. We got to help somebody, and it requires more than most people are giving. And I'm not just talking about the money; it's the time, the understanding. I'm gonna tell you something. Everybody who knows me knows that there's sometimes I'm not gonna talk on the phone. I'm not answering the phone. I might not answer your text back. I was laughing over it because it's not because I'm. It's because I'm busy. It's literally because I'm busy. I call nephew when I'm in the Uber coming back from somewhere. I call him. I call him like, okay, I'm getting on the train. Went to a protest on the train, and then I'm probably like check my surroundings out, make sure that nobody gonna be doing some weird shit. I might close my eyes. Trains, trains are my weakness when it comes. Not buses, but the train. Yeah, I know when I can tell when the train is moving. I can tell when it stops. All that. I, that's what we do. Imagine me in the back of a Ford Escape with boxes all around. Yeah, we can throw some boxes. You're 5'3". You get boxes. Yeah, you get boxes. No stop. Make sure you're flexible. Right? End up in a small space. See, that's what I mean. See, yeah, blowing it all out of proportion. It wasn't long. It wasn't long, and I didn't even fold them up and put them in there. I didn't even fold them up and put them in there. I call a shotgun. Listen, somebody needs to call driver because we could be sitting there and looking. I was like, I'm in the, I'm over here. Somebody needs to get over there. You need to call driver, not shotgun. I'm always shotgun. Who driving? I'm too short to be. You gotta wear a seatbelt in the trunk. Can't put you in the trunk. Yeah, you can't ride shotgun. I wouldn't trust you to drive. Listen, that's why I have to. I'm from the generation where we had metal cars, right? If you know, you know, low cutlass, low cutlass. So we had metal cars. So yeah, my driving skills are based on the fact that I used to be in a metal car, not a fiberglass car. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say. On the lucky track. I think that Look, I learned how to drive in a metal car. I would flip everyone off. And I trust you to drive because the minute they come over, they gonna be like, where did he pull that from? listen, listen. I got I got a new bag, right? Listen. I don't. One thing anybody who I've ever ridden with will tell you, I don't side drive. I don't do any of that. I figure, yeah, I'd rather you drive because I like to ride shotgun, literally, because I think I'm a better shot than you drive. So you get to drive, I get everything else, and you gonna listen to what you want to on the radio because you're driving. Whatever you want to listen to on the radio, you got it. I'm looking for threats. I don't think T would fit in my car. Now that's another thing, right? If you got a small car, I'll meet you there. If it's too small, no, I'll meet you wherever we're going. I call Uber. I call an Uber. I'm not folding my 6 foot frame up in a small car. I learned to drive on it. Oh my goodness. Oh, colorless. Oh yeah. I don't know about them colors. He is 7'11". He ain't fit well. Because I mean, when people meet me and they be like, "You're tall for real," I be like, "What do you all be expecting? Can somebody tell me that?" I remember when we were in Selma, and Freddie came up to me because Freddie told me he was gonna fight me. He was on site when he saw me. Right? And he ducked off. He was like, "Yeah, we don't fight. Much taller than I thought you were." I was like, "You have to fit in my little car. I barely fit in there." Listen, Freddie was like, "Yeah." He was on his live telling people, "He's 7'12". Yeah, no, but it's not that I'm just tall. I'm also big. Oh, oh, yeah, that's right. I'm supposed to be proving a point because. Oh, hold on. Hey, YouTube. I'll holler at you later.